Ah, what a wonderful time in my kingdom of Medioka. So many parties to attend to, many citizens to be put to death. I love my life. Oh, who are you? Oh, I'm you. Oh, no, my friend, you are an imposter. You will be put to death. Guards, seize this imposter and put him to death right away. Oh gosh, but I'm you. Any last words, my little mouse? Tax cuts for everyone. Mickey Mouse as the Monarch of Medioka. It was a weekly series of comics releasing from September 8th, 1937 to May 2nd, 1938. It's making it the longest series of Mickey strips running weekly. The version I have repackages all of those strips into one book, all in color, no filter, just tax cuts and government. Though the version I have presents the story in book format and jumbles some columns up, and since it is weekly, you can kind of see the abruptions. The overall story is based on Prisoner of Zenda, which is a 1894 novel about an English guy who must impersonate the king of a European country to save him from his villainous half-brother, Black Michael. But anyway, Mickey's in this story. He finds out that there's a king that looks just like him, but he's a terrible ruler, and their government convinces Mickey to replace him for the time being to get the country in check. And then the real king can return, and then Mickey can go home. But there's also a cousin that's trying to take the throne and kill Mickey. I shit you not, this is the story. And how does he solve all of these problems, you may ask? Well, the same way every problem gets solved in the real world. Tax cuts. So the story was written by Floyd Godfredson, and this guy basically made Mickey who he is today. He worked on just about every Mickey comic from 1930 to 1975. So 45 years of shaping this fucking rat. Look, this guy knows Mickey better than Walt. So there's over 45 years you get creative with your strips, but he made this one just after 7 years. So just know that he's a legend. Now I'm going to go through this comic and the story. I'll provide pictures and all that stuff because there's not a single video about this book. And I'm going to point out all the crazy shit in the series. We'll go through how the story probably inspired Ronald Reagan, its shitty start and its lackluster ending, and how it was even banned in Yugoslavia before it could even be finished. So let us begin. Now to start off here, like any old Mickey Mouse comic at the time, just kind of dicking around, he's chilling at home, the happy couple that's about to be happier. They arrive home, right? Get this, from Africa, and they're starting to receive checks from this guy named Captain Church Mouse. We never get to see, no idea who this guy is. But they got these checks from a treasure they found there, and boom, $1 million, just like that, each. Now, the abrupt start to this comic confused me, because what do you mean? What treasure? Africa? Not a good start. But hey, at least we're going. So they go to the bank with Goofy for whatever reason. I guess he was in Africa too. They decide to remodel their house. Mickey and Minnie had a convo that goes well with her screaming at him, which happens quite a bit here. But by golly, you're right. Now that you mention it, it does look sort of shabby. So that's what you think, do you, my shabby, eh? I work and all I get is insults, Mickey Mouse. You make me so mad. I could. Mickey talks to Horace Horsecollar. Love that guy, underrated character, who apparently his profession in this comic is a contractor with the blueprints. He wants you to know that he has blueprints. So he lets Horace do all the work because he's too rich to look at fucking blueprints, and he decides to leave and just give out his money just to random people, basically everybody, until he runs into some random guy who calls him Michael, which, hey, great minds do think alike. He mistakes him with, I guess, with someone he knows, and then he just goes about his day. Except he doesn't. He follows this little shit all over the city, just observing him from afar, menacing, lurking from every angle, waiting for his right time to strike. Mickey goes on his giveaway spree still. Even the banks are like, what are you doing with all your moolah, mousy? So that stranger from earlier, it turns out he has an accomplice that wants this mouse for their devious plans and needs him at his apartment by any means, use trickery, force, if you have to. So 30 minutes later, in this amazing getup, he pretends to be sick. Mickey ends up helping him all the way home to his apartment. And then, so I'm going to try to do like, I guess from here, I'm going to try to do my impersonations of these people. I just apologize in advance, especially because Medioka, the country, all of them have accents. And like, it's going to sound a little bad. But here we go. Hey, what's the big idea? Is this a kidnapping? He introduces himself as Count these shekels, Minister of Finance in the Kingdom of Medioka, and the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Duke de la Punch. Gonna go ahead and say this now. I'm gonna forget their names. They're there because they explained to Mickey that their country of Medioka is in bad shape, is very grave danger, all on account of our King Michael the 14th. I don't know how we got here, guys. The first quarter of this book was just a whole lot of hoopla and nothing, just a lot of time to kill. And now Mickey's about to go rule a country. So he continues to explain to Mickey that he is very young, carefree, a spendthrift. We borrow money and more money, and he spends it all. Is awful. So they're bankrupt, the country, and they can't get any more money. And somehow Mickey is supposed to solve all their problems. So Mickey backfires and is like, oh, yeah, sure, but kidnapping me won't help much. I couldn't raise over $1 million if I had to. Now you may be thinking, oh shit, maybe they just want all his money from this random treasure he found in Africa. But no, they want him personally. For God's sake, how? They show him King Michael and oh shit, yeah, that's me. They say, hey, you take the throne and they will dispose of him temporarily, which it's crazy wording. You will take the throne, you will be economical, Medioka will prosper, and we can borrow money again. I won't do it. Would you in his place, we at least have a chance. If we fail, the people are no worse off, and if we succeed, it will save the happiness, maybe even the lives of 1 million poor people. Golly, I haven't thought of it that way. Okay, you're right, I'll do it. That easy, guys. So he's got to go home to tell Minnie he's going on a business trip. It's political. That's all he can say. Then she's all like, all right, then, I trust you. I always wanted to visit Aunt Becky for a long time. Pause. Oh, who's Aunt Becky? Because I had to look this up and I found nothing about her. She doesn't exist. She's nothing of the sort. She must be a psyop. And so now we're off. We travel first off by boat and then by train and then by auto. Even coach, because why not, 1930s? They eventually make it to Medioka, and King Michael asks if he brought the money. So here we have King Michael, who looks just like Mickey. He does have an accent, so I'm going to try to do a Mickey accent with the voice. Oh, what? You blundering idiot! You dumb imbecile! I shall reorganize my cabinet. I shall have a new minister of finance. I shall have you beheaded. But worst of all, I shall have you call off the party I have planned for next week. It's really sad times in Medioka. So he says he has a plan. A plan that will let you forget your responsibility, give you plenty of money, let you have parties every day, and nobody would know the difference. Impossible! Parties every day, such a thing could never be. It is crazy. When do I start? Honestly, King Michael's, I think he's kind of like us deep down inside. To speed things up here, he takes him to Mickey to see what's up here. There's a nice looking glass reference here where he comes through the mirror. Obviously, he thinks he's imitating him, so they just beat each other up. This honestly is just normal stuff that the mice do, but they sure do fuck each other up. But it all leads to them becoming pals after, because how else does a rat roll? A rat roll. Have we? Do those exist? So he accepts his offer, and he immediately heads out for the day and travels by coach to somewhere else in the country, I guess, in disguise to a fucking party. So a little after, he starts his king routine, and he gets a rock with a note smashed through his window.
You have taken my last penny for taxes. This is it. Long live Duke VARLOTT. Oh, yes.
So you might be like, who the fuck is the Duke? So he explains to Mickey, oh, yes, I forgot to tell you, he is the man who is trying to murder you for the throne if any accident befalls the king. Varlott is next in line, so he has hired assassin to try and cause such an accident. Oh, then why don't we try to arrest him? One cannot arrest a man for the murder unless the murder has taken place. This is all common knowledge, Mickey, you fucking dumb. So now we have a cousin of King Michael that wants the throne who's going to kill him, but little does he know that Mickey's... Let's take a break here. So I'm going to break the story probably like right in half here to explain why this comic was banned in Yugoslavia. I'm going to best, because I don't know the exact date, but I'm a best guess when it was banned over there is around this part of the story. Now, let me give you a little history lesson about Yugoslavia, guys. I'm so sorry we're here. Their king was assassinated, and the son of the king, Peter II, he was only 11 years old at the time, right? And so you see where we're going here. So he took the throne from 1934 to 1945. They formed a regency council to run the country since he was so young, and his cousin, Prince Paul, was the temporary ruler. This was just a bad time in general, guys. The rise of fascism in Italy, the growing tensions in Europe, not to mention Germany got a little war going on, which will affect them. The country at the time, they tried to remain neutral, but it was too much. And in 1941, they joined the Tri-Party Pact. The citizens hated this decision. They had riots. There was a coup stage at the Axis government, and it overthrew Paul, the cousin, and little Peter, well, I guess was named the king at 17 because I guess that's old enough now. And it only got worse because then Germany invaded and they couldn't handle it. And their country, well, that shit capitulated in like 10 days. Peter fled and he went into exile and he never returned to his country. So that's kind of like a little rough rundown. That was pretty good on me. I'm pretty proud of myself. And so where this ties in, so there was an article I found, right, from 1937. When the censor came down from the newspaper PALOOKA, I think that's how you say it, which was publishing its own Mickey Mouse comic strips. So it states, quote, "It was generally believed that the reason was that this story in the cartoons had developed to a point where the Yugoslav public might see an analogy between it and the existing state of affairs in Yugoslavia. The point was where the royal uncle of an underage king of a ruditarian country from whom he was acting as regent found Mickey, the king's double, becoming too popular and hence decided to start a military conspiracy against the king. Now, Prince Paul, the chief regent of Yugoslavia, is not an uncle, but a second cousin of King Peter, who is a minor. Secondly, the Prince Paul fomenting a military conspiracy against the boy king is not one for which evidence could not be produced in any court of law. Nevertheless, when the comic strip was stopped at this point, public opinion in Belgrade jumped to the conclusion that the published story has reached a dangerous stage." So yeah, that's why it was banned. They thought it was going to get worse, and they thought they were talking about them, which I can see the similarities, but they banned this way too early because what unfolds the rest of the story is just insane and it derails into chaos. Let's continue. So back with Mickey, he has finally taken the throne. The first request of him is to make an example out of one of their citizens for, get this, not paying his taxes. And so now, since he is king, he doesn't have to have the accent, so I have to make him sound different from King Michael. He says, "I hereby sentence you to go back to your farm and work in peace for a year." So Mickey, of course, has the bright idea to slash taxes in half for all the citizens of Medioka as they riot at him. And they all just kind of stare at him for a minute, and then they go, "Oh, whoopee, and how, ooh, we love you." So Mickey explains to the idiots that they have to cut down on the expensive to save their country and their own salary, which went over just fine. Then that basically is what he does most of the story. He just kind of goes around the city telling everybody their taxes are cut and rearranging their army to help the citizens. Honestly, everything goes well in the midst of all this. You know, while he's taking a break from his duties, a princess walks in to tell Mickey that he's doing just a great job and that she's proud of him and that she still loves him. After she leaves, he turns over to his advisor. He's like, "For the love of Mike, who is the dame?" "That is Princess Feline, the woman you are going to marry." "Oh, lovely girl. Oh, nothing, gosh, just what would it do marrying her? She wouldn't go home with me, and I'm not going to stay here all my life, and She loves Michael, not me. And well, anyway, there's Minnie. It's his duty, but he'll do it. She's marrying Michael, not him. There's like a page or two in here where it deters from the story to go to King Michael, who's having his lavish parties. Oh, the life of a king, oh party! So much elegance. I love spending money. I love spending my people's money on parties. Oh boy, I sure hope there's no cameras around that will print me everywhere, cause I love parties so much. Click. Oh, he got his picture taken and put in the newspaper, right? Because they're like, oh no, a king is partying, right? So back with Minnie, remember her, she's reading that newspaper and she sees the story about this mystery guy. Quote, mystery playboy on spending orgy startles contingent. Obviously not pleased, she travels her mouse tail all the way there. Also, the Duke cousin saw the paper and he thought, hey, this must be an imitation Michael that he can get to use to overthrow. This is getting complicated, guys.
Oh, nobody would even expect it. With Michael out the way, this imitation king could be killed accidentally, and I shall be king of Medioka, King VARLOTT the first.
Minnie finally arrives in the country a few pages later, and she makes it to the club where fake Mickey is at. Out of my way! Out of my way! I already forgot the voice I gave King Michael. Out of my way, damsel! I have no time for the likes of you, taxi! He leaves her ass on the side of the road. She chases, of course. Little did the king know, the taxi he called was the Duke's, and he's kidnapped him and he's gonna take it to him. He tries to explain his master plan to him to take over the king.
You look so much like King Michael that nobody could ever tell the difference. We can't fail.
But instead of playing along, he just tells him that he's the king, like this rat. They just lock him up, not in the dungeon, but in a random room. I don't know what he was expecting there. Minnie, of course, following them the whole time, sneaks in, gets caught, gets confused for the princess or something, gets tossed into the room with Michael. And the first thing he says to her, oh my goodness, as if I didn't have enough troubles, you have to come and make it worse. He speaks for us all. He does, I guess, explain everything to her and how he's not the real Mickey. She, of course, doesn't believe him and she needs to see for herself. Oh, but take no chances on the way. I have an idea that the fate of the nation is in your hands. She tries to escape and she gets tossed out anyways. Very convenient for her. Back with real Mickey, the Duke made it to him and he's gonna lay the law down right away.
You are going to abdicate or leave the throne. You will tell the people of Medioka that you are abdicating in my favor.
He won't do it. I won't tell. He won't do it.
I would tell the people that you killed the King Michael to gain the throne. How could you prove otherwise? They would believe me, not you.
Also, a small note I did leave out, that is, if anyone does sit on the king's throne, it is instant death. So he does his little threats and that he will expose him to his country, and then he leaves. Wedding's tomorrow. Good luck, Mick. Minnie finally arrives at the palace and she finds Mickey. He takes a few pages to explain everything to her, and after everything, she says, oh, but why don't you just go back and get King Michael and bring him back? That would fix everything. And his response, oh, that's just like a woman. Bring him back. Yeah, and the whole Medioka Secret Service can't even find him. The way I dropped my book from laughter. She says she knows where he is and he's so happy, and he hugs her right as Princess Feline walks in. Uh-oh. Oh, Feline, this is the Minnie Mouse. She's an old friend of mine. Listen, Feline, I wasn't making love to her, honest, but she brought such good news that I simply had to hug her. You see, I've been worried about the wedding. I've been afraid that something might happen to spoil it, but now we can go ahead with the wedding. We got nothing to worry about. Our troubles are over. Whoopee. Oh, darling, that is wonderful. Good save, Mickey. Good save. So Mickey disguises himself and they ride off to save the king. Minnie distracts while he naps from the window. For this attempt to rescue me, Mickey, you must accept my congratulations and sincerest thanks. Oh, quit grabbing and jump. If one of them guards sees us, we're lost. Oh, I can see the wisdom of your argument. Make way for the king. I don't know why I sound like King Julian, guys. I'm just, it's really hard for me. So they make it out, get a broken wheel, and they stall him for a few seconds before King Michael is just like, silence, fools, it's me. But the Duke, he's all like,
there are no witnesses. We shall take him back to mine castle, now dead or alive, and I shall be king at last.
Oh, that is what I wanted to hear you say. Count the shekels, arrest this man and his guards for treason. Oh, I think perhaps that is the end of your power, Duke VARLOTT, you big dumb Palook. And that's the climax. Yep, they just arrest him. No final fight, no death, treason, taxes, I guess. But shit, we still got a wedding to get to. Long live King M. No one knew what really happened behind the scenes, and the villagers will never know. After the wedding, the two couples, they meet properly, they say their goodbyes, and Mickey will never forget them as long as he lives. But wait! Oh, but as long as he lives? Oh my goodness, that is what writes these horribles, that's the law. Any commoner who sits on the throne for any reason shall be put to death immediately. And Mickey sat his button bottoms right on it. You can't do that. He saved your kingdom. Ah! Bring out the chair. Oh boy. Oh no. Put him in the chair. Oh no. Oh, don't do it. Oh boy. But the people expect the king to enforce all laws. On Mickey's loyalty and courage showed me how a king should act. I shall be the greatest King Medioka ever had. However, my friend, I love you like a brother. You have saved my life. On my kingdom, I could not bear to see you executed. Oh, gee, Michael, that's swell. So it turns out the butler guy switched out the chairs with an imitation one before he took the throne. So that's one lucky rat. He knights him as one of the sweetest guys he hath the pleasure of meeting. Then they leave for real, and they head back home, not before exploring the sights and sounds, though, of course, by coach, and then auto, and train, and then boat, just like old times. Their trip back, not gonna lie, very underwhelming. They just sightsee, they shop a lot. She makes him carry everything. They judge people the whole way back. Not much plot here at all, though Mickey does get seasick on board, and I just found this image hilarious. Oh, Minnie, I had too much. Minnie, oh no, Minnie, what did I say about the fucking dogs? The final pages ends up with them landing back home with the horse collars waiting for them, and that's it. It just ends. There's not even like the end in the corner. Nothing. There's the page, right? The final page, right? And then it just kind of ends. I guess there's a little fun fact. It just kind of ends. Let's reflect on this. You know, looking at this, Mickey Mouse is probably America's most popular representative abroad, and probably the most interesting part of this story was Mickey cutting the taxes in the country to revive the depressed economy. So he was basically implementing Keynesian economics before it was even well known. There was a rumor that President Ronald Reagan read this story in the newspaper comics around the time it was released in 1937 when he was about 25-ish. And then when he was president in 81, he set forth tax reduction policies during the recession. Could it be that Mickey Mouse economics helped form his politics as president? Who knows? I can't ask him. But yeah, that's the story. Other than kind of dicking around in the beginning and the end, because that's honestly just normal Mickey comics, a lot of the jokes here are just bleak. Some are good. I mean, I guess the bad ones are good, but there's no sense of drama. The pacing is awful. Though I won't knock it too much since it was a weekly, and I assume a kid reading this on the 65th column is going to read it the same as if he was reading it on the first column. I just think the way this didn't hit is because Mickey is just a blank character. He hasn't had, I think, a true visionary artist. He develops no humanity. He's really, really fucking vapid. And it just makes more sense how this could have inspired Reagan. It's easy to see how this would resonate with people into depression. And that might be the only thing that makes this comic justifiable. But don't go out of your way to read it. And I'll see you next time. Oh boy.